these folks are from, you know, some of those states in the Midwest. They kind of switch sides in the electoral college because, you know, we didn't think they would vote for Donald, but enough of them did that he carried those states. So that's the heartland of America.
And this was written in 2016.
2017.
2017.
Actually. Yeah, after the election.
Oh, so it was after. So there was even more stuff going on with the white supremacists and all that.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going on. And ready?
Yeah.
We're coming from a belted rust. In our leaders we don't trust. Been battered and left in the dust. Sure where to go, build a wall in Mexico. Who gets locked up, I don't know. Hope it won't be me. Hope it won't be me. Home is where we place our bets. Home is where we pay our debts. Wonder if I have regrets. I'm still not free. Here we go. Could it go from bad to worse? I have seen my brother try to soldier for his country's lie. Now I hear his widow cry, better safe and free. Better safe and free. Understand what it takes to run our land. We got a man with his master plan. How did this come to be? How would he learn to see what it means to be free? Thank you for joining me on Homeland.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Let's see. So tell me, what's your background? You grew up. You started playing viola when you were 4?
No, I do have a checkered past though with music. My mother had a viola, and I kind of aspired to play it, kind of since she didn't. My mom and dad kind of played at the piano. He just improvised everything, symphonies even. But I was too small to play the viola at 4. Come on now. I started the violin when I was about 10 or 11, and then I moved to the viola once my hands got big enough, and that might have been maybe 5th grade or 6th grade.
5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
So you started with the violin, and when did you start with the viola?
I would say 2 years later.
2 years later?
And I kind of abandoned the violin. At that time, violins were a dime a dozen, and violas were interesting and a mystique. And plus,
Yeah.
there was a family viola that needed to be played, so that's what happened.
And this was your mother's viola?
It was.
Is that the same one that you have now?
I do have that viola. Yes, I do. It's a heavy German thing. Yeah, but I like it.
That's cool. So you've got, how many violas and violins do you have? You have a collection, don't you?
I have 3 violins and I have 4 violas, but 2 of them are on consignment.
2 of them are on consignment.
I'm trying to get those sold. So.
And you had a guitar teacher when it was your sister's guitar teacher, and you started studying with him. Is that?
I had 1 lesson with him. It probably shows. But Lyle Schaefer was my sister's guitar teacher, and she was sick one day, so I got to take his viola.
And you liked it?
I did. I didn't care for the songs he had. A bunch of sappy songs from the 70s, but I did. Plus, it was kind of popular to play the guitar then. A lot of kids were picking it up because it was what the Beatles did and everything, you know, guitars. And also, you know, so those, I don't know, go ahead. Tell me more.
So let's play, or maybe you can play another song. Tell me a little bit about it, and then I'll ask you about your father.
Sure. I could, you know, I could play the first song I ever wrote, which is another kind of, it's kind of a rock song, so it really belongs with a band, and I've recorded it with 2 different bands. But I will play it for you.
What bands did you record it with?
Well, I recorded it with a pickup band of some friends back in 1978 on a 4-track machine. And we actually went to Logan Airport in Boston and recorded airplanes so that we could have the airplane sounds when it was during the part where the airplanes roar. And then I recorded it with my latest partnership band, the Imperfectionists. About
What's the title of the song?
The song's called Astroplane.
Astroplane, astroplane, sunset hanging in the sky, in the space of the travel. Someone please tell me why. Just in case we unravel. Come listen to a story about a shiny silver jet. It has flown the trans dimension. It will never fall, not yet. It's my inner sense of balance. It's my outer sense of life. It sparks eternal daydreams, looking glass delights. Astroplane, astroplane, sunset hanging in the sky, in the space of the travel. Someone please tell me why. Just in case we unravel. I'm coasting through a cloud on which you all must stand, until I make my mind up to leave you there in the land. You're my sudden whim of value. You're my playthings, but alas, my astroplane is falling. I've used up all my gas. Astroplane, astroplane, sunset hanging in the sky, in the space of the travel. Someone please tell me why. Just in case we unravel. sky, in the space of the travel. Someone please tell me why
Just in case we unravel.
my flight is nearly over, my race is nearly run. I won't ask for your help, 'cause I know what I've done. I'm sorry that I hurt you, my walls are closing in, but I have followed virtue, and you have followed sin. Astroplane, astroplane.
Checkered past some music. Yeah, let's build up. Let's do a little bit of where you are now, and then we'll go back and we
All
kind
right,
of lose some
yeah.
associations. So you've got you've got 3 different bands that you've recorded with. And
I've recorded. I've played with a bunch of different ensembles, and I've really recorded with the Imperfectionists for the most part. That's been the band that sustained me and kind of launched me back into songwriting from 2015 late till 2020 pandemic.
So, and in the pandemic, what's kept you going?
Well, you know, I've been writing songs, and I did have some more music with a band called Stray Muse, which was great. It was really good discipline to play with them. But
Are you playing violin or guitar with them?
I'm playing violin. I play violin in most of the ensembles. I do play harmonica sometimes.
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll play guitar with to fill in parts when I need to.
So do you play any blues harmonica?
You know, I just play what I feel. I don't know what to
Just
call
what you
it.
feel?
I don't know what to call it. I didn't bring one today.
Yes. You started to take violin lessons again, and you're taking a class now.
Yeah, that's right. I took
what's
violin.
behind that?
I took violin lessons with you. Full disclosure.
Oh, it was fun.
and I saw you had a posting up at the Cafe International, which is a place where I did an open mic with the Imperfectionists years ago, several. And I said, oh, this is cool. And then so we got together, and I took some lessons. And I decided I really wanted to have the combination of instruction and ensemble, to listen to other players and things like that. So, and it was a nice, it was a class I'm taking at Skyline College in San Bruno, and it's been good. You know, it's been some discipline. A lot of it is review, especially with the theory. But if I just have to practice listening carefully, because there's always a nugget there for me. I just have to try not to tune out all the stuff I know. So it's been good.
So you've done a lot of open mics around the area. There's the Balboa Cafe, and there's Cafe International, and there's a couple in
yeah, I've done the Bazaar Cafe, Cafe Bazaar. I've played at the Donkey and Goat Winery. That's not an open mic. Those were
Donkey and Goat
gigs.
Winery. Wow.
That's a great fun. That's a story I didn't relate to you, but I was also playing with a group that's the Union Bugs. It's kind of folk music and union tunes, and we played a number of things, benefits for Rocket Dog Rescue and things. And we had a gig at Pride one year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a gig at Pride, and then I had this kind of psychedelic pantsuit on. You know, it was definitely a gender question mark item to wear, but it was great. And then I went off. I had a gig in the afternoon at the Donkey and Goat, and I decided I would just keep wearing the thing, even though it was kind of out of context. Especially when I wound up missing the BART train and somehow getting into a Rinda by mistake. And then I had to get back to the Donkey and Goat and play that show. But that was just gas. Yeah.
Sounds like a good time. Moving on to what's the next song about?
Oh, well, it depends on what I play. You know, it's always that. Oh, well, I think I'm going to try this one. This is a little bit crazy. This is another one that I did with the Imperfectionists in 2018. And it kind of foreshadows some of what culminated into Black Lives Matter, but it was ahead of that. Of course, problems have been going on for a long time, and there was certainly people objecting to all that, and I just kind of added my voice. And
a lot of your songs have a social impact feel.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you don't talk about what's going on, then you're not doing your job. You know, I mean, you got to try to give people some hope in the music that you write and perform. So this one's called "Excited to Be Indicted," which foreshadows some other things as well. But I like that because it rhymed, and I thought it was crazy enough.
Excited to be indicted.
Yep. Looking for direction to try to find my home. I've got nowhere to go and all the time in the world. I sleep in my flag, I keep it all unfurled. Can't be bothered to look me in the eye. Shut the gate out, keep your fate out. I crawled out from under a rock. I don't know where I came from, but I know my mind is spinning and I need a friend. Can't bring that mirror to your eyes. In a separate state, so far, so late. Mr. Policeman body cam, kicking at me in a terrible jam. Running by the lights by the night of day. I got nowhere else to stay. Can't be brought out from your disguise. Being just so, hiding in the know. Kick it, oh, kick it, oh, kick it on down, hidden away. Don't make yourself sound like you know what you're talking about, 'cause you don't. It's the same old story and you know that it won't stop. Ooh, it won't stop, no one can stop it. There's something pouring down on me. If I get indicted, I won't be knighted. I'll be requited, I'll be breaking the way. I'll be excited, I'll be waiting to stay. I won't be here, I won't be there, I won't be anywhere. Ooh, here's where I play the harmonica by the If I get indicted, I won't be knighted. I'll be requited, I'll be breaking the way. I'll be excited, I'll be waiting to say. I won't be here, I won't be there, I won't be anywhere. Rock and roll.
It's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does that have to be something with Trump, or is being indicted, or?
No, nothing about Trump. It's just kind of a way to, I don't know. Can't explain that. I think it's really about people without power being assaulted by people with power. So I think that's the main message there.
As people without power being assaulted. So speaking of like maybe Gary Floyd or.
Yeah, maybe anybody who's running by the lights by the night of day, nowhere else to stay. I mean, there's a lot of people like that, and I think they get the brunt of the aggression because they, you know, it can be done. They don't have power. Right.
There's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, there is.
your father was into 12-tone music. He was serial. He'd play music that sounded like Arnold Schoenberg or Anton Weber.
He did play Schoenberg, and he played Ussachevsky, and he played Luciano Berio, and a lot of these mid-20th century composers, and it was hard to listen to. I think, and I have a quote here somewhere about Roger Sessions. He said, what did he say? Sorry, I can't find. Oh, yeah, Sessions once said, I have sometimes been told that my music is difficult for the listener. And it was difficult for me, frankly, but I admired my dad, and I loved the fact that he was interested in all this. And we kind of met halfway with Frank Zappa.
That sounds like it would be something that you and your dad would get along with.
Yeah, I do have a handful of Zappa albums still, and I'm heard they're worth something these days.
I bet there's a lot of vinyls going pretty high. It's collectible.
Yeah, but full disclosure, mine are definitely listened to. So
oh yeah,
they've got pops and scratches and probably markings on the cover, but I don't care. I still have them. Yeah.
When your dad put together the string quartet, what was the thing that played? It was your brother and you, and I forget who the.
Oh yeah, well, what happened was my dad did pass away, and the family was trying to figure out what are we going to do to help with that in terms of a memorial service, and we knew of his interest in 12-tone, and plus since funny thing is, all three kids had played strings at one point, and none of us were particularly good, so we figured the best thing we could do is to play a piece that didn't have any notes. So Cage's piece 433 is exactly that. You sit there in string quartet assembly and turn the pages periodically and don't play a note. So we had a cellist join us, another friend of the family, and
that must have been a tough gig.
Well, it was funny because we sat there and most people don't know the song, don't know the piece, and we sat there in the church and didn't do anything, and there was the usual rustling and coughing, and afterwards people said, well, I didn't know that, when were you going to play? You didn't play. And then they finally got it, most of them, that was the piece, because we stood up and we bowed right at the end. So that was clear.
It's always interesting when that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what else did your father do? Did he play piano? Is that?
Well, he would play. We had a Steinway that was actually a converted roller piano, and very interesting piece. It wasn't in great tune, but it was the piano, and he would sit there and play essentially a Bruckner or Beethoven symphony, not to the letter, but he would play the main themes of the various movements, and he would try to connect them somehow. He would kind of fidget and flaw and find the notes to get to the next section, and he would sit there and do that for 45 minutes, an hour. It was quite entertaining.
Was it entertaining because he was good, or was it...
Well, he was clearly enjoying himself, and it wasn't spot on, but it was, you could see he was making an effort, and it was listenable. It was part of what happened at the house.
Something that opened up your ears and your mind.
Absolutely. Plus my associations in high school with friends, and getting into the pit orchestra, playing musicals. you know, I felt so grown up because we had these scores that were sort of handwritten, copied scores that had all these crazy markings that you see in show music, and you know, glissandos and everything. And we had a great conductor who explained it to us, and we had a gas. It's totally fun.
Great conductor. Tell me about the conductor.
Well, we had Mr. Toland and Mr. Finney, and Mr. Toland took care of the orchestra there, and Mr. Finney took care of the chorus, and together they directed the whole thing. And I don't know, Toland was a serious musician, and I took music theory from him too. It was kind of a safe place in high school for me in music class.
Who was your teacher for violin when you were in high school?
Well, we had Mr. Zanellis, who was good, you know, although we were the second violins were sometimes told not to pass their bows under the bridge during the concerts because they couldn't do the notes, and luckily they needed the violas, and I managed the part, so I didn't have to put my bow under the bridge.
Yeah, that's always something that orchestra conductors and orchestra teachers in high school always have trouble getting on kids who just want to get out of math or English.
Yeah, there was more than one sword
easy
fight.
Subject, and a guaranteed A.
More than one sword fight with the bows, and believe me, if you did that, you weren't going to get the A. And I had some private lessons too, some decent
What
teachers.
kind of pieces did you play?
Oh, I did play Telemann, viola concerto, and some other pieces that I don't remember them all offhand. But it was slow going, but it was good. And then you know, after that I kind of drifted away because I wasn't focused on music for a major. It became a secondary thing for me in college. So, but I kept up with informal music.
And you did something with the Pops in Boston, not the Boston Pops, but
well, lately, not lately, but after the other side of college, I was doing family stuff, and I did find an outlet with the Coastside Community Orchestra, and under the direction of Kay Rainey, and we did some serious, you know, symphony concerts. But I was always not quite good enough for myself to play, but I managed to do pretty well with the Pops because the pieces were easier reach for me. So I really did enjoy some of that music from Cats and Star Trek and the rest of that stuff. It was fun.
What song do you have for us next?
Well, I have. Geez, I've got all these. The more I play, the more I keep gravitating to these social context ones. And if you're,
is there a statement you want to make today?
No, it's just a realization that I'm gravitating there. I don't know why. Maybe, you know, I'll tell you why. One of the reasons is I'm super nervous to pick guitar, and most of the ones that these are mostly strumming songs. So, you know, I think that's probably part of it. You know, I just use the guitar as a vehicle, and when I record, typically I have someone else play because they're a lot better guitar players than I. So anyway, this is one that I wrote in 2022, so it's up to date. It's the most recent song that I've played in public, and it's called "We're the Leaders of the Free World." Start over. There's a man in the crowd, and you don't know if he's got a gun. I'm free to get a gun, no questions asked by anyone. I am free to speak my voice, free to tell you you ain't got no choice. You are free to walk the street as long as you look like me. of your health. As long as you can spare your wealth, I am happy to be free, living in democracy. They throw you a bone like a student loan, keep the president on the throne. I don't vote, I don't care, all my friends are unaware. We're the leaders of the free world, of death and destruction. Nobody's gonna lead us now. Abdication, obstruction. Take a cue from eternity. Nobody's more important than me. We're the leaders of the free world, blowing you all away. What's mine is mine, that I know. Take what we find and don't let go. There's a man in the crowd and you don't know if he's got a gun.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a
There's a
composite.
man in the crowd and you don't know if he's got a gun.
Yeah, that was inspired by, I think, the 4th of July shooting that happened in some parade up in Michigan.
Oh,
maybe,
yeah, that's
where, you know, you just don't know. And it's,
What about all the environmental stuff going on, the global warming and the fires and
yeah, there's all
the
that.
floods? And
There's plenty of material out there.
you got something to say about that?
Yeah, there's plenty of material. I guess I've got more writing to do. Yeah, that's all. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can put our energy towards. So.
Yeah.
So I guess you asked me something earlier about what am I doing now? You know, what am I doing now? And we talked a little bit about the pandemic and some of the music that I did. We had socially distanced rehearsals and outdoor shows and the rest of that. But lately, the last 7 months, I've been running a songwriters showcase in Pacifica at the Chit Chat Cafe.
That's right.
And yeah, and you and Josh came down and you played, and it was great to hear you. You know, this has been, I don't gloat really, but I have to say this has been successful and met my expectations for a small town songwriting circle type situation. I've got more than 20 people, 20-some people on the roster of musicians who write their own things and who have played or want to play.
When did you start doing this? The pandemic had started?
November of 21, I think.
Yeah.
So we skipped 1 or 2, but we've done 7 or 8.
You couldn't find out what to do with all the time you weren't driving to work. So you decided to put on a show and do all kinds of intricate promotions and stuff.
Well, meanwhile, I kind of slipped out of full-time work too over all that, and I'm working part-time with a day job that helps keep me fed. But the Songwriter Showcase is fun, and I feel like we're doing a service. A lot of musicians have said to me, you know, geez, I haven't been playing since the pandemic, and this is the first time I've played since X, Y, or Z. And we've had all ages, we've had men, women, just all kinds of music.
Yeah. Well, it's a great thing. I'm glad that you invited me and Josh to play.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, October 23rd, Sunday at the Chit Chat Cafe, if I can plug it. There'll be another one.
Yeah, you can plug it at the beginning end, and we can make a little commercial for it, and you can put it on. I can get an ad out and get some people who we can target Pacifica and the area around.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've got a flyer that that is going to be final later today,
Yeah.
so I'll make that available. This time we
Yeah.
have 4 people that haven't played at the showcase before, and 2 of them are women, which is great. I like to encourage women songwriters when we can get them. So that this is going to be
And
excellent.
what are the names that you're gonna? The names of the people that are playing this show.
Terry Gayhart, Paul McCabe, Ashley Larson, Edie O'Hara, and Kevin Patrick McGee.
That's great.
And I knew Edie from back. We were supposed to play a show at, I'm trying to remember, if the Monkey House in Berkeley, and then the pandemic came. So the Imperfectionists and Edie O'Hara were double billed at the Monkey House, and it didn't happen, you know.
It's gotta get that thing going again.
Yeah, well, the Imperfectionists are not, sadly, no longer. I have a link to the Bandcamp site.
Too much infighting in the band over the recording, or?
Well, no, I'm just saying my partner, my music partner, Thomas, and I.
That was a joke.
Oh, sorry. Busy trying to think serious here. Anyway, so we don't do them. He had to move back to Pennsylvania, so. But maybe I could put a link up to where those songs
Yeah.
are, because those are
I'd love to hear it.
a mix of his songs and my songs, and they're recorded with some care in the studio. So a lot of balance and things are done there.
In which studio did you record it in?
Well, it's called Wacka World Studio. It's Eric Walker with a K, Eric in Bernal Heights. He does recording for me, and in fact I've got things in the can right now, some of which you've heard today, that we're working on. So
Yeah. Is it a digital studio?
for the most part, he has tape and the rest of that, but
Yeah.
he's using Pro Tools and recording